I got made redundant 3 times, and so I said, I'm never working in telly because you guys are rubbish with money. £70,000 a month loss, that's not good. And then, so I went into working in manufacturing. I wasn't manufacturing, good God, no, couldn't be trusted with that. And then went on into sales, and again into another company. I got made redundant 5 times. And after the 5th time, which happened just after, kind of first week in January, that bit where when you're employed, you go, oh, January's going to be a little bit lean, looking forward to the January paycheck. The January paycheck didn't arrive because I was made redundant and the next week I was unemployed. So I thought, okay, I have 2 choices. I can go and look for a job, or I can do what's been kind of sitting in the back of my head, which is work for myself. And I decided that I was never going to let anyone else make me redundant ever again. That was always going to be my job from now on, if it was ever going to happen again. Little problem though, didn't know what I wanted to do. Had no idea of what business I wanted to run. Which, is kind of important, don't you think, when you go into business? So I had a look around, and funny that. So I had a look around, and I came up with, in the end, I had 2 choices. And my choices were dog walker and sales and marketing copywriter. They're not very similar, are they? So I quickly figured out that actually dog walker was because I wanted a dog. So I didn't want to walk other people's dogs. Actually, the idea of being in charge of them was quite nerve-wracking, and it was quite a lot of outlay. And so I thought, okay, I'm just going to aim for having 2 dogs later on, and I have now. The other one was sales and marketing copywriter, because where I worked a lot for small businesses, I would just look at what they'd written and go, that's rubbish. And they'd look at me, get a little bit cross, because it's usually my boss that had written it, and go, well, can you do better? And I go, give it a go. And when you're in a small company, you know what it's like. You get opportunities to do the things you would never get to do anywhere else. So I'd always been writing, even when I was a receptionist, working for a printing company, the sales guys used to get me to type their letters. They'd come down with theirs and I'd give them back too. And more often than not, they'd use mine. So I always knew I had a talent with words, and so I went on to work with words. And funnily enough, rocked up to my first networking meeting with hair not dissimilar to this, funnily enough, and just stood up and went, my name's Ali Hollands, and I'm a copywriter and I write shit-hot copy. And the hilarious thing was everyone believed me. I thought it was brilliant. I thought, this running a business last, hilariously simple. Obviously, I then went on to learn how to be in business. And funnily enough, guess how I did it? Going networking. I became a member of a network, and I used all of the fantastic talks that we get at networking to train myself in business. The one-to-ones I had, all the people that I met, they taught me how to do business. And then I met someone one day. Within all that, I also I realised I was quite good at running networking meetings as well. And then someone realised that I might be good at running teams in networking meetings. So I did that too. 5 minutes, excellent. So I did run the whole of Kent at one point and had 20 groups, 20 networking groups. I had a team of 6 area leaders, and they had a team of probably a couple of 100 people, and that was a national joined up networking. And I really loved that because I'd never been allowed to be in charge of people before, and I discovered I was really good at it. Not actually being in charge, but actually just leading people, getting them to do stuff because it was a good idea, not because I said so. So when I met someone who they did a talk, funnily enough, on persuasive language. They were a sales trainer, and they did this talk on persuasive language, and I thought, I wonder if you can do that for writing. So I had a chat with them, and they said, yeah, be really good, there's a book on it. But instead of doing that, I went and I joined their hypnotherapy, because they were setting up a hypnotherapy school, and I joined their hypnotherapy class, because that's what you do instead of reading a book that costs £10. So funnily enough, within that, so my life is, there's opportunity and accident. It's serendipitous. Whilst I was doing that, I was like, never, ever, 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 ever going to do this as a job. 4 months later, I'm going to be a hypnotherapist. You know why? Because it's more fun. Sitting on your own writing is great, except that it's really, really lonely. And you don't know you've done a good job until someone pays you. That was it, really. That was the fun bit. Whereas when I was working with people, I'd watch them change in front of me. And that was so exciting. That was just one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen in my entire life. And I thought, that's what I want to do forever. So I did. I went and I rebranded myself, became a clinical hypnotherapist. Had a little point in the middle where I also helped them set up the school. So I was a director of a hypnotherapy school for a little while, and I set it into motion and worked with them for a year. And put through a couple of cohorts, and then thought, no, you lot are still having more fun than me. I want my own hypnotherapy practice. So the school carried on, and I parted ways with it, and then I set up full-time as a clinical hypnotherapist and have been building my business ever since. And that brings us up to kind of now. So just a couple of things that people will often say about me, and sometimes they're really kind and they write it down and they let me use it too. So this is just taken off my website this morning. Hypnotherapy with Ali was balancing and empowering. It gave me a headspace where I could concentrate on me. Everything was explained and worked out in such a logical way and the Ali way that it just seemed to click. Plus I loved the drawings. I'm kind of known for my dreadful drawing, okay? So it's part of the process, and it is the thing that will stay with you until the day you die, I'm afraid. Ali saw me to deal with various issues that were affecting my working life. Now, months later, I'm aware of the massive impact, positive impact the sessions we had. Helps anchor the changes she instilled. You might have noticed, but we have a little bit of a problem in that there are a lot of people who aren't happy in this country. There are a lot of people who are not getting to do what they want to do in the way that they want to do it. And we're going to need some support. We're in a very pivotal time in our development funnily enough, as a species, where our technology has eclipsed us and we are still trying to catch up in our heads. And that's what we do. We train people how to use their brains. You've now got a manual onto how you work and how you work brilliantly. And I want to be there training the next generation of people and bringing my industry, which is pretty good, but it's got a lot of different levels you can work at, but I want to bring it up to something where people go, got a problem? Of course you're going to use hypnotherapy, aren't you? It's going to be the obvious route. So that's where I'm going. So the school is going to be open in October, and it's 11 minutes, so I need to shut up now. But I hope you've enjoyed kind of finding out a little bit more about me. And as I said, if you want to know anything about the school or any of the other work that I do as a masterminding facilitator of small businesses in Kent, just let me know. It's Ali Hollands. Thank you very much.